Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by Want to win a $500 Jay's gift card, a fly fishing trip in northern Michigan, a Lake Michigan charter boat trip, a walleye jigging trip on the Saginaw River? Well, join the Michigan United Conservation Clubs this summer as they continue to fight for fish, and 4 lucky winners will get a chance to get out fishing and support conservation. By Tri-County Logging. Experienced in sustainable forestry practices, Tri-County Logging can help you manage your property by keeping your woods healthy and generate income. Serving southern and mid-Michigan for nearly 50 years, TriCountyLogging.com.
For over 30 years, Vanguard Outdoors has made the gear that turns a regular hunt into another fine day of field. We know that a good shooting stick or a nice pair of binoculars can make or break your day. Our design teams include serious hunters who work hard to bring you the best sporting optics, shooting sticks, tripods, bags, and more. We are Vanguard Outdoors.
Hello everyone, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. We've got a great show lined up for you this week. We're going to kick it off by introducing you to a family who spent a picture-perfect morning out on Grand Traverse Bay chasing after Cisco. There were lots of fish and lots of laughs. You won't want to miss that story. And then we'll head to the port of Whitehall where we head out on Lake Michigan chasing after salmon with a woman who owns her own boat and knows how to use it. You won't want to miss that story either. And we'll wrap up this week's show with a salmon recipe. Lots of great things headed your way, so make sure you stay tuned. I'm Jenny Silik, and it's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan Out of Doors.
What a beautiful day in the woods.
Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy. Wonder and the love of Michigan as the wind comes whispering through the trees. The sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream. It's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Country Smokehouse, a sportsman's meat processor and Michigan destination since 1988, offers a variety of homemade smoked meats and Michigan-made products in-store and online. The Country Smokehouse features an outdoor barbecue and bar. Details at countrysmokehouse.com.
We're at Sutton's Bay, and we're going out. We're going to pursue a few Cisco this morning. We got the grandkids along, and of course Matt. And hopefully we'll find a few.
Awesome. You've fished for them already?
We've been out a couple times. We were successful earlier, so hopefully they're still here, and we'll find out in a few minutes.
Are you guys excited?
Yes. Yeah.
Have you been fishing with your grandpa before?
Yes.
A little or a lot?
A lot.
Look at them, they're jumping up and eating all the bugs.
We tore ourselves away from the cute ducklings at the dock and headed out on the bay. Dan says this time of year seems to be the best for Cisco, also called lake herring.
Well, this is a shallow water fishery this time of year when the water is between 50 and 60 degrees. And the Cisco move into the shallows and feed on the gobies in the rocks. We quite often get a few snags. We got to retrieve the lures so we don't lose them. And we fan cast and keep the motor running real slow. And when we hit a fish, we put a waypoint in. And after we catch a fish, then we just go ahead and we spot lock. And we stay in one spot until the fish either move or we catch them all. And then we just keep moving along. So it's a little bit like bass fishing, but in shallow water, and we're using pretty much Luna jigs or Swedish pimples, those type of lures, and just pop them along the bottom. And because it's kind of a small profile type of lure, and very similar to the gobies that they're chewing on. So that's kind of the story.
Dan's grandson Daniel wasted no time getting his bait in the water. After just a couple of casts and retrieves, Daniel connected with our first Grand Traverse Cisco of the day.
Yay, that's the beginning.
Nice job, guys.
There he is. First Cisco of the day.
Let's catch it.
Uh-huh.
Daniel got it.
There he is,
Good job,
Daniel.
Daniel.
Whoa, and he's off. Perfect. Number one of the day.
Hold on a minute. Just stay right there, okay? That is cool. Beautiful.
Good job, Daniel.
The first fish on the board. Nice work.
Well, Daniel had the program dialed in this morning. This type of fishing takes a little finesse and is pretty productive.
Just nice long casts. Let it sink a few seconds and then just jig it back in. Find out if they want an aggressive jig or just a slow, easy one along bottom. Sometimes it can be mistaken for a rock bottom. As you're jigging along, you want to be near the bottom, and with all these big boulders and rocks, all at once, on the jig, all at once your rod will stop. So set the hook and follow through, and many times they're right there. Unfortunately, you lose a lot of these fish because they have paper-thin mouths. But eventually we'll have Hannah reel one in. We're 0 for 2 with Hannah, but she's getting better on the fishing pole all the time.
The Cisco bite was on, and while Dan and Hannah tried to get one in the boat, my husband Matt was able to hook into his first fish of the day.
Got my net there, big fella? All right.
Oh, Daniel's an excellent one.
All right.
Bring him in, bring him in.
Nice.
All right.
Hey,
In the
that's
net.
skill.
This your
He
first
was,
Cisco,
this is
man?
my first Cisco. Very cool.
Congratulations.
How did it hit?
Matt and I have known Dan for a few years now. We met him at a Mark Martin ice fishing vacation school where Dan was serving on the pro staff. We fished for a couple of days with Dan on Burt Lake and have been friends with he and his wife Cindy ever since. We've heard lots of stories about their grandkids, and it was fun to spend the day fishing with a couple of them.
Oh, he might. Nope, he's still on.
Good.
Oh, is he off now?
Did he spit?
He's on. I see him. I see him. I see him. He's swimming with me.
Okay, let's see. There! Han, you got him. Yay!
Good
Bring him on the
job.
boat.
Beautiful.
Daniel's on fire. Well, I have a great gift that my daughter and son-in-law have given me. I got 3 grandkids. 2 of them are with us today. Hannah's 8, Daniel is 10, and they both have the outdoor gene. They love fishing, hunting, they do all kinds of things, and for me to bring them out here and enjoy this activity is a true pleasure. They're really trainable, and they like to be interactive. So when one is catching a fish, the other one is netting it. They learn how to hold fish. They're not too squirmy and worried about it any longer. But it's a good deal. They know that you can thumb a bass and not a pike. They learned early on, and it should never be an issue. So I'm just happy that I have those guys to bring out here.
What'd you do?
I caught a fish.
Nice job. Are you gonna kiss it?
No.
Is this fun?
Yes.
What do you like about it?
I like seeing that I gotta catch a fish.
Yeah. Cool. Great deal.
Okay,
Did
let's-
you get it on the clicker, Daniel?
Yeah.
How many do we have?
5.
Woo! All right.
Very good. Okay, let's jump down. There he is, Han. Here he is. Here you go, baby. Okay, Daniel, you got the net. Han, put that in your belly. Okay, nice and easy now. I've been fishing here for this is about my 4th season, and just word of mouth. Different friends that have come out here, and they said, come on out and give it a try, and I've been hooked on it ever since. There's a lot of ways to do it. Basically, the rods that we use are the same ones that we jig fish with on the rivers, Detroit River, or 6.5, 7-foot rod. We use fire line with a nice swivel and just a 15, 18-inch leader. And you can run a heavier leader because we're using the Luna jigs that are anywhere from 1/2 ounce to 3/4. And there's a lot of rocks and a lot of structure and no reason to lose your gear. A friend of mine was checking last week what a master angler Cisco would be, and he said it was 16 inches. Well, our fish that we catch out here are averaged more than 16 inches. We got them up to 22, and they got good wide shoulders, and they're big and beautiful, and they fight hard.
Being retired, Dan spends lots of time on the water with friends and family, but he says nothing beats the precious time spent fishing with his grandkids.
Well, I'll tell you, it's moments that we always reminisce on. It's a beautiful time, and we're passing it on to the next generation. These guys enjoy, and they not only like going with me and catching fish, but we clean them, we smoke them, we eat them, we do everything along right down the path. So it's a great time of my life. Daniel has been ever since before he could talk. Yeah, he has a knack, and that's real good. He's got the outdoor gene. He likes hunting and fishing, and he's got a turkey the last 2 years, and he's got a pond in the backyard. He fishes in every day, so he whenever he gets bored, he goes out fishing.
With the motor pole? You got fish?
Yep. Fish on.
Fish on.
Get in it. We got color.
Oh, and I missed mine.
Oh, here he comes. Get in there, Hannah.
Teamwork, teamwork. Gotta get that rock tip down. Scoop, scoop. Hey! Way to go.
Good job, guys.
Okay, back. Here, hon. Here, hon. No, don't drop the rod tip. Here, you're on your own now.
Oh!
Keep reeling. Oh, he got it! Hey! Teamwork, teamwork.
The live well was filling up with fish, and we were already talking about our favorite Cisco recipes for dinner. There are lots of ways to prepare them.
They're excellent table fare. I think we've prepared them in a lot of different ways. We've fried them, we've canned them, we've pickled them, we've smoked them, and we haven't found a way to wreck them yet. So it's pretty darn good. One thing, these are kind of a relative to the whitefish. And one thing you have to do is if you're going to freeze them, you almost have to vacuum seal. And you don't want to keep them in water a lot because the flesh gets real soft and spongy. So I keep them out of the water as much as possible and smoke a lot and fry a lot.
Well, we were nowhere near getting our 12 fish per person daily limit today, but we definitely have enough Cisco to try all of Dan's favorite recipes. Young Daniel was managing to catch his fair share and still had time to net everyone else's fish too. This kid just loves fishing.
What's your favorite kind of fishing?
Probably bobber fishing.
Bobber fishing? For what kind of fish?
Bluegill.
How come you like that?
Because it's really fun when you get them on.
Yeah, do you like this fishing today?
Yeah.
What do you like about this?
I like that they put up a really good fight, and they also really are good sized sometimes.
Spoken like a true fisherman. It was an unbelievable day out here on Grand Traverse Bay. They even let the camera lady catch one before we headed in. Today was more than just a day on the water and more than a boat full of fish. It will become a cherished memory for both grandfather and grandkids alike, one they will all look back on and smile. Stories of the crystal clear waters, the baby ducks, the abundant snacks, the first successful net job, the ones that got away, and the lessons only a grandpa can teach. Those are the things memories are made of here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Boy, we had a great morning out there with Dan and his grandkids. What a beautiful time to be out on the water. It always seems like a little bit more fun when we fish with people we already know. So when good friend Tina Lamer invited me out on her boat on Lake Michigan to chase after salmon, I couldn't pass up the opportunity.
Well, we're going out of Whitehall here. Hopefully the lake did a little flip, so hopefully we can find you some fish. We're starting a little bit shallower than normal because of the water temps. we're going to run mostly a salmon program, some meat, some spoons, some flasher flies, and maybe one lake trout rig. So, yeah.
How have you guys been doing so far this summer?
We've done really well. We've put some good fish in the boat. We had a good time, a good week up in Ludington. We were out here last week, or actually Wednesday, for a day, and we ended up 20 for 24. Wow. It was one of those epic days where, you know, you're happy and everything's going right. So hopefully we can repeat that.
Tina and the guys wasted no time getting lines set on this picture-perfect morning. Fishing with Tina today was our mutual friend, Captain Mark Pananzak, Tina's fishing buddy, Jim Fortner, and her brother, Kurt Lamer. Tina and Kurt have been fishing together most of their lives and know their stuff when it comes to Lake Michigan.
My brother and I have been fishing since we were little kids on Lake Michigan. My dad used to take us out in a little 16-foot boat with a 10-horse motor and a couple downriggers on the back, and you know, we did that since we were little. You know, in my middle 20s, you know, late 20s, I kind of got away from it, you know, didn't live close to the lake. And now, you know, I've come back to those roots, I guess. You know, I enjoy being out here. It doesn't matter if we're fishing for walleye, jigging, salmon, you know, fishing the rivers, whatever. I just want to, you know, be out doing something. I got my brother Kurt, a few years younger than me, Jim Fortner, who we fish with quite often. We got a good thing going, the three of us, and then my good friend here, Mark Panazak, who I wouldn't know you if I hadn't met him. So I'm thankful for that, and thankful for your friendship and his friendship. So we're having a good time out here this morning.
As Jim boated the first fish of the day, Mark talked about how he met Tina.
Probably 5-6 years now we've been fishing together, and I met Tina through an open boat. I put a open seat up on my website, and she came in on an open seat, and we fished out of Quantica Sea, caught a bunch of walleye, showed her how to run spoons and stuff, and we've just become great friends afterwards, not just client-wise, but now she's got this beautiful boat, and but we still fish a lot, we still talk to each other, and
Two in the box.
Her brother and Jimmy, just great friends. So we got a great group of people out here enjoying the day. It's a beautiful day.
Nice work.
Whoop, whoop. 2 on, 2 in the box, lost a couple, but a beautiful, beautiful morning out here.
Beautiful indeed. Another king was in the boat, making it 3 for the morning. Always the optimist, Mark talked about the positive side of social media.
That it's very funny I know some people don't like social media, but it's actually been phenomenal for my business and meeting people. I've met so many great people through fishing that's not funny, and Tina's one of them, Jim, and actually yourself. You know, so that's part of the beauty of it, is you get to meet a lot of same people with that same passion. It can be bad in ways, you know, but I just look past the bad stuff and concentrate on the good stuff, but that's how I do my whole life in general anyway, so I'm good with that.
That one's a little bigger.
Decent fish.
While we waited for the next fish to hit, Jim ran through some of their go-to rigs.
We have 8 or 10 rigs that always work, and we start with those and go from there. Netminder, Spin Doctor, you know, the 10-inch with meat rigs, any meat rigs. This is a Little Boy Blue. It's been really good for us. Dragon Slayer, Pro King, always one of our top producers. Any green fly, green crink, it's always great behind it, especially on a sunny day. Some of the spoons, the Green Jeans Moonshine has been really good first thing in the morning. Pretty much any of the moonshine spoons are going right now really well, especially at first light. One of the biggest things out here is finding the right color water. You want that water with a green tint, not the blue water. Find that stained water and you'll normally find fish. That's where the bait lives, and fish follow the bait. So that's where we normally start when we're pre-fishing tournaments, and I look for the stained water and go from there. So.
I do. I'm also both. That's king. Yep.
That's that mark we did.
I watched him nail it.
Big one?
Better, a lot better one here.
That's the one we're looking for. That's the one.
While Kurt was fighting the big fish, another little one hit, and Tina was able to reel it up and hand line it into the boat before Kurt's big one was close to the net. The action just didn't stop, and the fish just kept on coming.
Good fish. Good fish.
Yeah.
Nice natural. Got the adipose fin. So, yeah, good fish. That's what we're looking for.
That's number 7?
7 in the box so far today, yo.
All right, cool.
This fishing team was all smiles today. Even though they were out for a relaxing morning on the big lake today, Tina, Kurt, and Jim compete out here quite a bit too.
We're trying to fish maybe 3, 4, 5 tournaments a year, whatever time allows. And we're just having a good time. You know, we're just enjoying ourselves.
I imagine when you're fishing these tournaments, people probably do a double take a lot, right? Being one of the only women that does this.
Yeah, a lot of times if we're at the dock, the guys will come up and tell the guys, "Oh, we love your boat, we love your boat," and they say, "Well, it's her boat." But you know, it's I kind of call it our boat, you know, because we're a team, and I couldn't do this without them. I'm extremely blessed to have this opportunity.
None of us should ever take for granted this beautiful resource and amazing fishery we have here, and this crew is very aware of just how lucky they are to have access to it all.
Looked like we got a steelhead the way it was jumping back there. Keep coming, let them come.
It's a big one.
Wow, he's a tank. Look at that thing.
With a good mess of kings in the box and a catch and release lake trout back in the water, the crew was excited to have their first steelhead in the boat, and it looked like Mark was fighting in another one.
Wonderful, nice steelhead we caught. This is our second really nice steelhead we just caught. I mean, we're catching some really nice fish here today. Not killing them, but I think this is our 10th fish of the day. That's not a bad morning, I can tell you that.
Good work. Beautiful.
Another nice steelhead. There are actually women that you know, join in tournaments and stuff, but I have not seen any women that bring their own boat to the, you know, tournaments and stuff. You know, it would be nice to see. You know, it's kind of one of those things that, you know, it gives people an opportunity to see that, you know, women can do it. You know, women can, you know, run a boat, back it up, drive, trailer it. You know, it's if you want to do it and it's your dream to do something like that, go for it. You know. Don't let anybody stop you.
Powerful words to live by, and a great reminder that there is so much opportunity in the world, even in our own backyards. Special thanks to Tina Lamer and friends for embracing it all right here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Well, we're here once again in Mount Pleasant at the Wood Shop Social with Jim Wood, chef extraordinaire. We got a little bit of salmon. This is the time of year that hopefully you're getting out and filling your freezer with some salmon, and I always have like 1 or 2 ways that I always do it, so we're looking for something different. So Jim, what are we going to do with that fillet today?
So we're going to sear the fillet first. We're going to cook that separately. And then, I don't know if you're a fan of Thai food. But
I am.
Drunken noodles is one of my favorite dishes.
Okay.
And this is kind of like my interpretation of it. There's a few things that isn't proper with drunken noodle, but I really don't care. We're going to do it anyway. So.
So what are you going to actually do you're going to put oil in the pan,
yeah,
butter?
We're going to use oil. There's not a whole lot of butter in.
Vegetable oil?
Yeah, vegetable.
Okay.
A lot of people would tell you use extra virgin olive oil. That's probably the worst thing in the world to cook with.
Really?
It's got a low smoke point, and the flavor completely dominates everything.
Okay.
Extra virgin olive oil is basically designed to dip bread in and things like that. It's the first press. Everything after that is like light olive oil. That's what you'd use. But
okay. So just going to sear that off and then set that aside and then make kind of a sauce to go with it?
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to make a sauce to go with the noodles itself and the vegetables that we saute.
Okay, so we got our salmon kind of seared off. Now walk me through our next few steps here.
All right, so now we're going to start adding our vegetables. We're going to first start with about a cup of bell pepper and yellow onion, white onion.
All right.
And then about 3/4 cup of mushrooms.
What kind of mushrooms are those?
These standard button mushroom.
Okay.
But you can use whatever you want. If you happen to have morels lying around, that would be outstanding.
Okay.
And we're just going to let those break down for a minute or two. And then we'll go in with, this is broccolini. You can use broccoli. Kind cauliflower. You can really use any vegetable you want for this dish.
Okay.
There's no rules.
Okay.
And inside of this bowl,
is that garlic?
I've got a combination of minced garlic and minced ginger, about a half tablespoon of each.
All right.
In here, I've got a combination of dark soy, light soy. If you can't find either of those, you just use straight, regular soy.
Okay.
Oyster sauce, sherry, sugar, and a little bit of water to tone it all down because it is pretty salty.
Wow. And then what kind of noodles is this going to go over eventually?
So, normally you'd use a wide rice noodle.
Okay.
We don't really use those a lot here in the restaurant. We do use what's known as a yakisoba noodle, which is a wheat noodle. It's got a lot of tooth to it, stretchy, it's good.
And you just basically do this until the noodles are
warm.
So they're warm.
And they've absorbed most of the sauce. That's really what you're looking for. Maximum sauce absorption.
Very nice. And what was the name of this dish then?
We're just gonna call it Salmon Noodle Bowl.
Salmon Noodle Bowl. That's really good.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite dish on the menu.
That salmon is really crunchy. That is so good.
Thank you so much for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Make sure you stick around in upcoming weeks. We've got all sorts of great things headed your way. We'll do a little more fishing, and then, believe it or not, our sights will be set on the early season hunts that are just around the corner. If you'd like to see where we are and where we're headed next, you can always check us out online. Our website is MichiganOutofDoorsTV.com, and we're on social media platforms at Michigan Out of Doors TV. If we don't see you in the woods or on the water, we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by.
Do you dream of somewhere bigger than your backyard? You can get there with Greenstone. Whether you want to hunt, fish, hike, or just watch the sunset, we're ready to help you own your place in the great outdoors. To learn more, visit greenstonefcs.com.
By Alta Equipment Company, providing sales, rentals, service, and parts because uptime matters. From earth moving to landscaping and light construction, Alta offers over 50 brands across 7 Michigan locations to serve you. More information online or 844-GO-2-ALTA.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a Michigan man. From the Keweenaw down to St. Joe, Kalamazoo, East to Monroe, to St.